Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you on this September 10th, 2025. I have all your stories for your rush hour ride to work. And buckle up for this one. We got a lot to get into. Looks like the new Bachelorette will be revealed today, and I've got a good idea on who it might be. We'll talk about that. Plus, Blake Lively is looking to extend some deposition deadlines as her side in her trial against Justin Baldoni is complaining about 84,000 pages of documents that were dumped on them. Well, it looks like someone's going to need an extra coffee this morning to go through that. Luckily, it won't be me, but we'll report on what's going on with that story. And then massive updates on UFOs. I still call them UFOs, UAPs, whatever. There was a oversight hearing, and I'm going to share with you video footage of U.S. missiles being shot at a UFO, hitting the UFO, and the UFO still flying. Unbelievable time to be alive. I've got that coming for you. And then at the end of the episode, we're going to talk about Poland. It turns out Russia might be starting a war with Poland, which pretty much means they're starting a war with the United States as it's a UN nation. We'll get into that and more on the Epstein cover-up. Lots to get into. All this and more starts right now on The Rush. Yeah, so folks, you're going to need to stick around for the Blake Lively stuff. You guys know me. I'm sandwiching it right in the middle of this episode. We'll get to it. It's a long chess match. It's a marathon. There's a lot of back and forth. Not the most interesting tea, but of course, we're going to be following that story ad nauseum, some might say. Well, nothing gives you nausea like seeing Colton Underwood here. The question was asked, who does he want to be the next Bachelor? Here's what he had to say.
Who do you think should be the next Bachelor? I mean, at this point, I sort of want like a dog season. Like I want dogs to do it. Humans are trash. Straight men are trash. Myself included when I was straight. Like women don't deserve that at all. And I can't in good conscience name a straight male that should be deserving of that.
There it is. A lot of bitterness there. Now, of course, Colton was kind of a monster in the final days of his living life as a straight male, put a tracking device underneath his ex-girlfriend's car, creating fake phone numbers to stalk her and him from. Of course, that's some issue. But either way, he says no straight male is deserving. And maybe he's right because it's not going to be The Bachelor. They're skipping the Bachelor season. They're going to do The Bachelorette. Here is Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy. And of course, she's the 100 millionaire podcaster. She's going to be breaking the news for us today. Have a listen.
Hello, ABC. What can I do for you?
You want Call Her Daddy to announce the next Bachelor? What do you mean it's The Bachelorette?
Shut up. How did you get her to say yes?
But she's never even been a part of The Bachelor.
This is gonna be great for ratings.
But what about the other show she's on?
We're announcing tomorrow? Let's do this.
I woke up in All right, so there it is. So that's today now, who they announced. And again, I don't think it's a spoiler. It's just a big hunch. It's a lady who's got another TV show. She's not from the Bachelor franchise. And due to some choice following and unfollowing, a lot of people think it's Taylor Frankie Paul from Secret Lives on Hulu. Now, I would love if it's Brooks Nader because I am really enjoying Brooks Nader and her new reality show. But Brooks Nader, not exactly ready to settle down. She just got out of a long relationship. But either way, here we have it. Taylor Frankie Paul. That's my guess. And we'll let you know when it comes in. Will anybody be watching this season? Now, respectfully speaking, if this upcoming season is a Mormon season, I'm all for it. Are they going to do, the Mormons love their soda. Are they going to have soda dates? Will there be bedsheet sponsorships? I don't want to insult any Mormons. We're all having fun out here, okay? We're just having fun. We're going to see how it all plays out. Why bed sheets? I don't know. Will there be fantasy suites? I mean, these are honest questions. Will they be bumping uglies in the anyone going to be bumping Harrisons, as it were, in the fantasy suite? Yet to be seen. We'll see how it all plays out, if that's, of course, who they go with. Well, in a more serious story, David, I think he goes by David, is cooperating with police after a corpse was found in the trunk of his Tesla. Now, this Tesla was, I guess, towed. It was abandoned. Now, it's pretty hard to open up a Tesla when it's not your phone attached to the device. So I have no idea how that body got in there. Did he let a friend borrow it? Was it of his own doing? Again, we'll have to see how this all plays out. It is a fascinating story. He's been dropped from, I think, Hollister was a brand working with him. People are putting the pause on him until they find out what the hell went down there. And speaking of things going down. Bad Bunny, oh, I feel so bad for him. I feel bad for Bad Bunny. Appeared to have injured his knees while dancing during his performance last night in Puerto Rico. Now, I just had to share this because, listen, as an elder millennial, I get it. He's hopping around, doing it. He's just hopping. He didn't fall in a pothole. There he was, hurt his knee, and he's got to walk off. Sir, welcome to adulthood, where you get injuries even when you're warmed up and didn't mean to get them. That's life. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to talk for the next couple minutes about UFOs. After the UFO stuff, we get right into Justin Baldoni. But I'm telling you right now, this is interesting. Here's the moment that a UAP, shrugs off a direct Hellfire missile hit. Look at this. There it is. Now hold on. If you're checking this out, boom. A missile just hit a UFO. Yeah, it kind of moved a little bit, but it kept going. What the heck were these UFOs? I'm going to share several folks who are commenting on it. I'm going to share what they have to say regarding the classified video of the missile bouncing off a UFO orb.
There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild, and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off.
Yeah. This is crazy, and this is Mr. Knapp, a ufologist, of course, speaks of the occult. And, look, I've been talking about Bigfoot. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. I know Bigfoot, UFOs, they're different. Or are they? We don't know. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Are Bigfoots part of the UFO community? Maybe. Maybe they're just the Uber drivers of the UFOs that stopped in the earth to take a piss. We don't know what Okay, my point, no, don't digress too far, Dave. Now, here we have some more commentary. Witness describes the UFO sightings, and this is the moment they say they were staring down the barrel of World War III. This is fascinating.
You'll see those files that I shared with you. They did find stuff. There was an incident in October of 1982 over an ICBM base where UFOs popped up, was observed over this base where the missiles are pointed at us, United States. These UFOs perform incredible maneuvers. They split apart, they fuse back together, they'd appear and disappear. And right at the end of this 4-hour period, the launch control codes for the ICBMs lit up. Something entered the correct codes. The missiles were fired up and ready to launch, and they could not shut it down. The Russian officers were panicking. The UFOs they disappeared. The launch control system goes back to normal. Colonel Sokolov and his team came in, took the thing apart, could not figure out what it was. It wasn't a power surge or EMPs or some of the baloney excuses that our country has given for similar events involving our nuclear missiles. They thought it was a message from wherever the UFOs were from. And that's a chilling thing. I mean, we were a couple of seconds away from World War III starting, and the UFOs were responsible for it.
Now, wasn't this kind of the plot of the movie Independence Day starring Will Smith? Where they pointed our own weapons against us. So that's absolutely wild to think this could have happened. Here is our final UFO segment of the morning, because it's still the morning and it's only halfway through the week. We don't want to blow our whole UFO load all at once. UFO witness describes unidentified aircraft covered with gold. And these aren't crazy lunatics that are, shouting out at the abyss. These are veterans of the military.
Light then flies across the base, across the flight line, and as it flies to me, a triangle manifests around the light. I can't tell you if it's active camouflage. I can't tell you if it appeared around the light, but I can tell you that it was a white light, and then it was a triangle. It stopped about 100 feet in front of me and approximately 100 feet above me. My telephone got extremely hot, completely froze, dead. I remember how thick it was. It was between 1 to 2 stories thick, equilateral triangle. I could never see the top of it, and the edges were 90 degrees. There were 4 lights in total, 1 light on each corner, and a larger light in the center, 2 to 3 times the size of the corner lights. But what was really odd was the outside. The best way to describe it is like looking at a James Webb telescope picture where you have the colors and then the black background. So the craft itself was this black metallic flake paint, but on top of the craft was this gold lava, plasma, some type of fluid going over and around the craft. I'm under this for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then the center light flashes 2 to 3 times, no sound, immediately shoots up to commercial jet level minimum, in my opinion, and I immediately feel static electricity all over my body, and then I smell the smell of after a thunderstorm or lightning storm.
Crazy. I mean, this is crazy. He sounded absolutely compelling, believable, intelligent, descriptive, unbelievable. So we got gold-plated alien ships running around. I'm sure Trump's like, that gold-plated alien ship will look real nice in my Oval Office. We got to get it in there. All right, we need to reset the deck. This is deck worthy to reset. We have to absolutely reset the deck here. So let's do this. Take a quick break. Word from our sponsor. When we come back, I got the new Baldoni versus Blake Lively update. We're here in my car at the gas station, sponsored by Upside. It's a free app that gets you cashback rewards at gas stations, restaurants, not just gas, but sometimes the food that you're going to get in the gas station. Great for road trips. They give up to $1 million a week back in rewards to its users, $1 billion in total. This is how it works. You just type in your zip code and it'll show you all the different gas stations. I'm at an Exxon. 45 cents per gallon will come back to you as a reward. Not points or some loyalty program, cold hard cash back to you. It's a no-brainer. You're driving to work, commuting, rush hour, Timmy's going to football, Jill's going to dance. You're already spending the money on either gas or purchases in the gas station. Again, it all comes right back to you. And with my code RUSHHOUR, you're going to get 25 cents off per gallon on your first tank fill up that you do when you sign up for this app. Again, 25 cents off per gallon with my code RUSHHOUR. Let's get back to the show. No surprises here with Justin Baldoni as articles are coming out, verbal abuse claims from another person who may testify at the Lively trial. Now, we covered this several days ago when this story came out. We knew this would be bad PR for Justin Baldoni, but other than a affidavit from somebody claiming verbal abuse, what the hell could it be? Well, Katie from Without a Crystal Ball said this: I spoke with a source who previously worked for Wayfair Studios about the recent court declaration, claiming Justin allegedly verbally abused someone on set and was restricted from participating in promotion or marketing. The source told me, I can't even imagine this happening. As for speculation that the person involved might be Liz Plank, they said no. A podcast isn't a film set. There was never any promotion or marketing for the podcast, so it has to be someone else entirely. So she's writing off Liz Plank, and a lot of people think the redacted person who claimed Baldoni was verbally abusive, a lot of people think it's Ryan Reynolds. Now, that wouldn't be the most damning witness if Blake Lively's, biggest person testifying for her is her husband. You know what I mean? But we'll have to see if that person gets unredacted at trial or what comes of it. Now, Blake Lively has responded to, these court documents here. This is Blake Lively's response to a data dump. 80,000 pages of documents that were dumped. Again, some people say, well, Blake Lively's team asked overly broad for a lot of different communications, so it's no surprise that they got dumped. So they said this: the Wayfair defendants' proposed production date for Signal Communications was September 15th, is the same date scheduled for Steve Saurowitz's deposition. The Wayfair defendants produced over 80,000 pages of documents late last night, which will take days to process and more to review. Notwithstanding that voluminous and belated production, the Wayfair parties produce search terms that appear to be woefully insufficient, raising serious questions about the completeness of their productions to date. And key third-party witnesses Catherine Case and Brianna Koslow have just been ordered to produce documents by September 12th after they have already been deposed. Ms. Lively respectfully submits the Wayfair defendant's course of conduct, whether due to gamesmanship or a lack of planning, has necessitated adjustments to the forthcoming deposition schedule, which Ms. Lively will propose as soon as feasible following conference with the other parties. Ms. Lively attempted to confer with the Wayfair defendants today regarding certain deficiencies in connection with their production last night, but their counsel refused to include discussion of these issues in an already scheduled party conference taking place today, invoking this court's 48-hour requirement. Yeah, so essentially, Blake Lively's complaining that they sent her too many documents. Their defense is that we've been wanting these documents since 6 months ago and they've just come in too little too late. Again, is that gamesmanship in the legal world, or is it just they're asking for a whole bunch of things that are hard to acquire? So she says they've requested these for over 6 months, and this falls woefully short of demonstrating any basis for such an extension. But then we've also got, of those 83,000 pages, something like half of those are text message, or I'm assuming are text messages, although that can't be true. They said something like 40,000 of those are actually pages that have to do with Jennifer Abel. Again, what's on those pages, I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's interesting how both sides will claim that this is an advantage to their side. Blake Lively, their side is saying, oh, the fact that they're sending us 80,000 pages clearly means they're trying to hide something or whatever. Baldoni's side says, look, you wanted it all, you're going to get it all. Here's all of it. Here's all of the pages you asked for. You got it all. When Blake Lively asked for the film footage, she then complained that they didn't sync the audio or video. I said, what do you want it color corrected too? Blake Lively should know how to sync the audio and video. She works in film, right? They pretty much do it through AI now these days, right? So not a big deal. So here she says, last night, the Wayfair defendants produced documents totaling more than 83,600 pages. As noted above, the Wayfair defendants now propose to produce Mr. Sarowitz's signal communications on the day of his deposition, which is especially problematic given the paucity of documents produced by Mr. Sarowitz to date. So they say down here, of these, 43,000 pages were produced last night by Miss Nathan and Tag, which substantially implicates the depositions of third-party Case and Coslow. And then prior to Wayfair defendants' production last night, Sarowitz has produced a mere 227 documents. He has now made an additional production of documents that must be processed before they are reviewed. Okay, so they're upset that some people have produced 80,000 documents, and then they're saying, but Mr. Sarowitz, he's only produced 227, a paltry level. Which one is it? Interesting stuff, how this is playing out. Again, pre-trial, dick measuring contest, how the judge, what the judge is going to let in and all of that. This is just the entire trial being set. Again, starts in March of 2026, although a lot of people think it'll be delayed. But so far, the judge he's kept that schedule pretty tight. So we'll have to see about all of that. All right, well, coming up next, I'm going to share with you guys Donald Trump and his denial of the signature on the Epstein letter. He says, it wasn't me, folks. Here's what he has to say as he was heading out to dinner about the newly released letter that has his signature on it. He's suing the Washington Post for, $100 million. At this point, it's all monopoly money, right? He's suing them, claiming defamation, but it's clearly a letter that comes from a decades-old 50th birthday book to Epstein. Here's what Trump has to say.
Thank you. Enjoy it.
You signed the Epstein birthday letter.
It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time, no, that's not my language. It's nonsense. And frankly, you're wasting your time. All you do is trying to get off the great success of DC and about 200 other things we've done that are so successful.
So Trump claims you're wasting your time looking into the Epstein case, which we now know to be the biggest government cover-up in the history of the United States of America. That's what it is. Now, here we have Caroline Leavitt praying before she goes into savage mode, where she then defends a possible pedophile? What the hell's going on? Now, she's not defending Epstein, but as you're about to watch, what she is doing is saying it's a hoax. But then when they ask her what the hoax is, she has a hard time defining it. So here is the hill that Caroline Leavitt's dying on. She's dying on this hill because we've all seen the letter. It's Trump's signature.
What is the working theory as to why he's in
The president has one of the most famous signatures in the world, and he has for many, many years. You know that, Maggie, you've covered him for a long time, long before he assumed this office when he was a businessman in New York. The president did not write that letter. He did not sign those documents. He maintains that position, and that position will be argued in court by his lawyers. The president is very confident he is going to win this.
So let me get this straight. I'm not in the office, but let me raise my hand here. So what you're telling me is something like 10, 20 years ago, whenever this letter letter was written, forged. They knew that they were going to use this letter over Trump's head in the future when he ran for president, when he was, what? So they're claiming that this letter is a forgery. Now, I guess they could be claiming that it was forged this year, but clearly they have the hard copy letter. It's in a book. They have it, the physical letter. They can prove this letter's as old as it is, whatever it is, 10, 15 years old. So with that, are we really supposed to believe? Now, hold on. I know they like to piss on our leg and tell us it's raining. And honestly, can we even tell anymore? They got rid of the weather program. What is that? I don't know. If you looked at your weather app, who the hell knows what weather's coming around the corner? So either way, they're literally lying to our faces. And this is a Christian woman praying before she pisses on our leg and tells us it's raining. Coming up next, I'm going to continue to discuss the different theories going on here. It's absolutely wild what's happening. And spoiler, Trump's not going to get away with it. These Epstein files are coming out through hell or high water. Today's episode of the Rush Hour Podcast is sponsored by Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one of my favorites. Ooh, are they delicious. Start your day with a protein-packed breakfast from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Oh, you thought they only had delicious smoothie options? You're mistaken. Pair that smoothie with a toasted breakfast wrap, order ahead online, and earn rewards with the Tropical Smoothie Cafe app. Like to customize things? Add more good vibes to your smoothie. Fresh add-ins like almonds, spinach and kale, chia seeds, or supplements like protein and Energizer. My favorite smoothie is the Peanut Paradise, chock full of 22 grams of protein. My wife loves the mixed berry Greek yogurt bowl topped with fresh strawberries and blueberries, which comes with a whopping 26 grams of protein. Make every day a getaway with our bold flavors and better-for-you pairings only at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, you're on Tropic Time now. Now back to the show. So here we have the question of, well, you said the Epstein files were a hoax. Are they a hoax? What's the hoax?
Said he didn't sign that check, that he didn't sign the birthday card that he allegedly signed. So what is the theory, since these documents came from the Epstein estate? Who is I guess in your view, faking these documents?
I did not say the documents are a hoax. I said the entire narrative surrounding Jeffrey Epstein right now that is absorbing many of the liberal cable channels on television is a hoax that is being perpetuated by opportunistic Democrats.
So what exactly is the hoax?
I love the follow-up question. We need more of this. And so what is the hoax? You're using this hoax term very loosely.
Just trying to understand what's fake. What's fake is not the documents.
The hoax is the Democrats pretending to care about victims of crime when they do not care about victims of crime, when they have done nothing to solve crimes, when they have done nothing to lock up child.
So my thought here is this. Whether she has a point that it is opportunistic, because it is opportunistic. It is opportunistic, but I think it's a pretty good opportunity that you don't want the leader of the United States of America to be hiding and pressuring Congress not to vote for the release of the Epstein files. And for what? If he's not in them, what's the big deal? If it's that, the founder of Victoria's Secret or Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, who the hell cares? Release the files already. And the more they protest, the more she prays to her God that her press conference goes well. God wants the Epstein files released, and he's going to find a way to make that happen. And they're saying, well, that's not his signature. Well, experts disagree.
I mean, anybody can do a signature.
You think really someone might have just forged this somehow?
Yeah, I mean, somehow it's so easy to do.
From what I see, it's not a signature. I've seen Donald Trump sign a million things.
All of these people that are sipping this Kool-Aid, they need to get voted out of office, not a signature. What are you talking about? Now, obviously, you have to make sure that this is, yes, a signature can be forged. Absolutely. But they've had this, they've vetted it through different sources. They've got it in a binder. It's 20 years old or whatever. The signature's real, guys.
This doesn't look like his signature to you?
Nope.
I highly doubt that it is. Really? I mean, how could someone could have forged this?
Well, are we talking about the birthday card?
The letter to Trump, apparently.
Oh, I would, that's new for me. I've not seen that.
Oh, shut the hell up. So they all say it's not him. Well, here we have someone saying it's absolutely him, and it's a handwriting expert.
In my professional opinion, the chances of this not being his signature are too minuscule to talk about. The signature that came up last night purported to be Donald Trump. I can absolutely say it.
This is Emma, a graphologist, for those listening on the audio only, and she says it's him.
Donald Trump. But it's very much the signature that Donald Trump had in the early 2000s as opposed to his signature now, because it's changed really quite a lot since he's become president.
And by the way, doesn't that make it more convincing that when this letter would have been written, it matches his signature from the time period? People are saying, no, I've seen him sign things. Yeah, he's an older guy. You don't sign the same way. You ever seen the way Monet painted as his, getting blind? You change. So your signature changes. Now he's got a giant felt Sharpie. He signs it like he's, drawing, on the back of a menu at an Applebee's.
We can compare it. This was purported to have been written in 2003, I believe, and this is 2000, so it's only 3 years apart, so it's relatively recent. If we look at the final stroke there's a very gentle going down of the stroke and then a long horizontal stroke, and it's exactly the same formation in this letter of 2000. We've got the very tall pointed upper zone strokes of the L and the D. And if we examine these under a microscope, which I have done, you would see that they were exactly the same. And
there it is, folks. Not to mention she's got a nice British accent. I got the gavel here, so just so you know, case closed. I mean, listen, this is freaking ridiculous. Is this not ridiculous? Who the hell that believes in conservative values, that wants a small government and whatever the things that Republicans, wanted before MAGA came around, who the hell thinks that this is happening? I could go over all of the issues, these tariff wars that literally are bringing no manufacturing back to our country. It's a tax on us. The tax cuts to the ultra wealthy, which is just ballooning the debt. These are the things that Republicans that have balls wouldn't want to happen. But instead, they know that if they go against, Supreme Leader, they get voted out because he sends his people against them. I hope none of these people ever work in public office ever again. Now, in other crazy news, this is breaking as of last night, Russian drones have entered Polish airspace. Now, why is this a big story? I've been someone who has defended Ukraine as they've been invaded by Russia, saying the reason why people need to help, the governments need to help support Ukraine is because Russia doesn't want to stop there. They want to resume the world they lived in the USSR. They want to absorb all of these other countries, and we've seen them start to do that. Well, Poland, that is the doorsteps of the United States. That is the doorsteps of the United Nations, and if Russia goes to war with them, we're supposed to step in. We're part of this organization that is supposed to step in, and the buck stops there. So while we were only being friendly to help out Ukraine, with Poland, this is a war. This is an absolute war that will break out if Russia continues to escalate. Have a listen.
Ukraine's Air Force just now reporting Russian drones have entered Poland's airspace. Reuters is reporting the Ukrainian Air Force said on a messaging app drones were heading toward a Polish city near the border with Ukraine. Again, waiting for confirmation from Poland.
So, you could argue, well, they got lost. They weren't supposed to be going in that direction. Well, we'll have to see how it all plays out. I don't know what else to say there. Lots of crazy stories here. We're here to cover them all day. I'll be live with you guys at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time today for the private membership community, patreon.com/Dave Neal. Tomorrow, I will be doing my creator, university with those that sign up for the YouTube memberships, so you can sign up. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out my show this Saturday, September 13th. I'll be performing at a show in Nashville. I'll be headlining a nice small show at a record shop. It's going to be a ton of fun. So if you're in the Nashville area, you need to be there this Saturday. Go to my website, rushhourwithdave.com, for details in the calendar. And we'll be back this afternoon. We'll see you then. I'm Dave. This is The Rush.